Now back to Laser Talk here on WSTU 1450. And back to your host, Dr. Trev J. Rosetta.
Lose 3 to 9 inches of stubborn belly fat in exactly 3 weeks or 9 sessions. There's no surgery, there's no diet, there's no exercise, and no pain. The machine is FDA cleared. And I always ask you, which of the following do you suffer from the most? High blood sugar, high cholesterol, hypertension, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, fatigue, slow metabolism, neuropathy, pain, numbness, tingling in your feet. Your waist circumference is over 40 inches in a man and over 35 in a female. If you suffer from 1 or 3 of what I just mentioned, you are suffering from something called metabolic syndrome, chronic metabolic disease. It's a healthcare crisis, and it is serious. So I'm going to finish up on how hormones determine the shape of your health, and then I'm going to go into this chronic metabolic disease and this healthcare crisis. You're listening to the Slim Body Laser Spa. If you'd like a consultation with me in my office to see if our laser-assisted weight loss can help you achieve the results that you've been struggling to achieve, or maybe you just decided to throw in the towel and get some help. I had 4 people come in this week, all of which had heard on the radio, had seen the ad, and had decided it just made sense to them. I had 2 people from Vero Beach, a husband and a wife, that were driving down from Vero Beach. They were so glad to be here. I had somebody who came in who lives right down the road from the spa, had been seeing the sign. She's an older woman in her mid-80s and was waiting for one of her girlfriends that could drive down with her and bring her to the spa. She waited a year. And she's already lost 4 inches around her belly. She said she's feeling better, and she just was thanking me not yesterday, but on Friday. It really is a wonderful procedure. It's safe, it's sane. No one's ever died in our office. There's no damage, there's no downtime. To think that laser liposuction is one of the number 1 procedures for fat reduction is just crazy insane, because people have problems with liposuction. It has its side effects. And what I love about the Slim Body Laser Spa and this latex machine that we're using, there are no effects that are negative. It has no downtime. It has no possibility of damaging tissue. The laser does not go through the body. It stops within 1 inch to 2 inches under the skin. In fact, I saw I don't have it here in front of me, but that's okay. It was actually an FDA has classified these low-level laser machines. They actually used to call them infrared heating devices because they didn't have the classification for it. But as a result of so many manufacturers coming up with this fantastic idea, they've now had to make its own classification. And it's called a low-level laser for fat reduction. And it explains in the FDA description how it permeates and causes the fatty pores. It causes pores to form around the fat cells. When you apply this laser energy and it strikes the fat cell, it causes microscopic pores to form, and then the fatty acid leaks out. It's called lipoprotein, leaks out into the tissue. And that's, we didn't have that description 2 years ago. I knew that's what it did, but it wasn't agreed by the FDA. It's becoming more and more mainstream is what I'm trying to tell you people out there.
Yeah, and
so you don't have to be so fearful of it.
That's a big deal that even the FDA has recognized.
Classified it now, and but I can tell you that without diet or exercise, without eating less and moving, it doesn't work as well. So we offer, food teaching and classes on nutrition and food combining and what a protein is and what a carbohydrate is and how fatty acids are important, the difference between good fats and bad carbs and good carbs. We sit down with people and do nutritional evaluations, and we help you with your food if you're interested. Many people don't need any help with food. A lot do. So we offer that as part of the program. And you get much better result with it. That's for sure. Okay, so On Monday of this week, I had a full-page newspaper ad came out, and it talked about how hormones determine your shape and your health. And it identified 4 different types of profiles of people. The first, and I'll just summarize real quick, there was the adrenal shape, and that has to do with people that have constant stress. The adrenal gland is your fight or flight gland. The adrenal produces adrenaline, right? Adrenaline. So when you're under a lot of stress all the time and you're always under, like you feel you have to fight or you need to run or you're under fear, you start to develop, and the adrenal gland is overstimulated and it starts to break down. It's called adrenal fatigue. And what it does is it leads to poor sleep patterns from worrying and stress and excessive thinking. You can't think clearly. Your memory goes out the window, and because you're ready to fight and run, and you need that blood sugar to go up to feed those muscles in case the tiger shows up. It leads to weight gain. When your ancestors went to get water at the watering hole, and the saber-toothed tiger showed up and pounced on one of his friends, you could imagine that some stress occurred, and you ran, or maybe you fought to help your buddy off, the tiger off your buddy. But either way, you needed enormous amounts of muscle strength and energy to fight and to run and to deal with that. So the body, whenever you're in this fight or flight response, it dumps blood sugar into the system. It wants you to have a lot of glucose in your bloodstream so those muscles can get that energy quickly. And as long as you burn the energy and you run or fight, then it runs down and you're okay. The problem with stress is we never stop the fight. We're always in this fear. We're always having chronic stress leads to high blood sugar. It leads to hypertension, high blood pressure, and that high blood sugar leads to high triglycerides and a whole bunch of other hosts of nasty, oh my God, I don't feel well, I need to go to the doctor kind of problems from high stress. And one of the effects of it is weight gain. And it doesn't go away with diet and exercise, I'm sorry, when you're in that stress. So that's why the Slim Body Laser Spot is so effective at helping that. So that's the adrenal shape. Now the thyroid is somebody who, the thyroid gland is in your neck, and it controls the metabolism in all of your cells, not just a few areas. So people with thyroid problems tend to get big all over, not just in one place. So this would be kind of the apple-shaped person, the apple versus the pear. The pear has to do with the ovary shape and the adrenal shape. But the thyroid is someone who gets big all over because it affects the metabolism in all your cells. When the thyroid becomes slow and you become sluggish, your estrogen becomes dominant, and stubborn baby weight that doesn't go away after giving birth is often due to a spike in estrogen, coupled with thyroid malfunction. Besides weight struggles, people with thyroid suffer hair loss, saggy skin under the arms, ridged nails, and loss of their outer eyebrows. Thyroid types also tend to reach for simple carbs, such as bread, for quick energy to rev their sluggish metabolism. We can help you if you suffer with thyroid weight gain, absolutely, positively. 772-223-5885. I can help you lose unwanted fat in 9 sessions, 30-minute sessions, or 3 weeks, regardless of your body type. I did it myself. 3 years ago, I lost 12 inches in 12 treatments, and I lost 30 pounds after eating less for 3 months. I can help you. If I could do it for myself, I can help you also. Number 3 shape, the ovary shape. Oh my goodness. So what are the ovaries? You know where the ovaries are. They're part of your female sexual sexual organs. And the ovaries are up above in your belly, above your uterus. And the ovaries produce the eggs. They produce the egg, which is necessary for having children. And they travel down the fallopian tube, those eggs, and they lodge in the lining, and you know the deal. So the ovary shape, for women in childbearing years who are trying to conceive, having an overproductive ovary isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? You're trying to have a baby. But for others, as you get older, it can lead to saddlebags, and lower stomach pooch. Like the thyroid shape, too much estrogen triggers the ovary shape. In fact, people can be both thyroid and ovary at the same time. Many ovary body types turn into thyroid types after pregnancy due to the spike in estrogen, especially if the woman develops a thyroid problem during or shortly after having the baby. And I know that is a common thing. How many people out there are on thyroid medication right now that I'm speaking to on the radio? I would venture to say that 60 to 70 to 80% of all of our clients that come in that are female have been put on thyroid medication. Obviously, we do deal with people with body issues, so maybe that's why, but this thyroid medication is common. So what they're saying here is that the ovaries, which have to do with childbirth and conceiving children, that they, after they get overproductive and then the birth is done, the high estrogen levels causes the thyroid problem. And the shape is basically saddlebags, which are the big lower haunches around your lower legs up, where your back pocket would be, and down a little lower, saddlebags, like on a saddle on a horse. And the other one is that lower stomach pooch, that belly, that stuff you can squeeze and gush in the front. Very, very amenable to laser body sculpting. We can apply the non-invasive low-level laser right to those areas. It's applied externally, directly to the belly fat, and then in a series of 9 sessions, 30-minute sessions, it releases those calories. Each laser treatment releases 40 to 60 grams of free fatty acid. That's equal to about 400 to 600 calories of free fatty acid that you are no longer having to store. And then it's absorbed by the lymphatic system. You burn it as energy over a day or two, just normal walking, no heavy exercise, and then you do that 3 days a week for 3 weeks. You can lose 1 inch to a half inch each treatment. That's how you get the 6 to 9 inches after 9 sessions. So the ovary shape can also suffer from heavy menstrual cycles, heavy periods, and they can develop facial hair and acne, especially during the time of the month when they're having their period. Anything that is cyclic, such as headaches, PMS, bloating, and depression can occur frequently with the ovary type, oftentimes during ovulation or about 1 week before a period, a menstruation. So ovaries are more for active women that are under 50 because as you get older, the ovaries aren't as active. But what happens with older women after 50 and 60 that are ovary types, when they're younger, they turn into the thyroid type because of the high estrogen levels. We can help. 772-223-5885. 772-223-5885. Okay, last but not least, we have the liver type. The liver, everybody, be good to your liver, please. It works really hard keeping your body clean and processing all the poisons you eat and the things you drink, all the improper foods. But over time, the liver can start to back up and swell, and it just becomes a problem. And the way a person presents themselves is with a liver-type belly. So your liver is a 3-pound organ under your right rib cage. So take your right hand, put it on your rib cage, feel down to the top of your belly. Right underneath that rib cage is your liver. If it's tender or sticking out, or you feel a hard edge there that feels like a piece of wood, that's a problem. Go see your doctor right away. You might have liver enlargement. So the liver sits under your right rib cage, and it filters toxins and helps to digest your food. So those are the 2 main features of the liver. It filters out toxins, and it helps digest your food. Your liver type people that present with a liver shape typically have thin legs and a protruding belly. These types have a condition called ascites, which is essentially the liver is leaking a plasma-like fluid into the sac that sits just above the intestines. Ascites is dropsy, or it's an excessive amount of water. Because the liver type has this belly pooch, people often equate them to having a fat stomach. But in reality, they actually have low body fat. even if the person is 300 pounds. The problem is most of that weight is in their tummy, and a lot of it could be fluid. People always incorrectly assume that all weight is equated to fat when it isn't. So what the liver type means, in healthy individuals, blood sugar naturally rises in the morning due to hormonal changes in healthy people. But after fasting, not eating overnight, liver types with liver problems inevitably wake up with low blood sugar, and they are irritable. They also have digestive problems such as gas and heartburn after they eat because of their sluggish digestive juices. This means food is not broken down thoroughly, and if bile is not released, this person will feel unsatisfied and crave quick carb energy. So the liver type is really, I like to say, big belly Bob, He's got small legs and small arms. He doesn't look like he has any butt, but they got that big belly that hangs in front.
Yeah, kind of like a beer belly, we would call it.
Yeah, but
it's not from beer.
But it's not from beer. It's from the liver starting to back up, and when the liver doesn't function properly, even though it doesn't show up on an exam, on blood work doesn't show a problem, it starts to leak fluid out, and that collects in the belly. And it's a tough case, because these are really nutritional problems when you have liver type problems. Not as much, the laser can help, but not as much as just cleaning up the diet and doing some detoxification. That's very, very important. All right, so that was my detailed explanation of our Monday's full page that we had in the Stewart News. You'd like to find out, we have copies available at the office. If you want to give the staff a call, go to slimbodylaserspa@gmail.com, put your contact information. I can send you a copy of everything that I just read to you. You can also go to slimbodylaserspa.com on our website and click the contact page. You'd like some more information.